Let's go for it. Andrew, what's going on, man? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Cool, man. Yeah, glad you're able to hop on with me. I really do appreciate you taking the time and chatting, man. And I kind of just wanted to connect because we have clients, we have references and such every day, always calling us saying like, "Hey, can I talk to some of our clients that have gone through the process? Can I meet somebody?" And we try to explain to them, we're like, "Dude, these people are really busy, and they like invested in a program because they wanted to get into a business, not because they wanted to like do sales for my company." And what what we'd like you to do, if you don't mind, Andrew, kind of just like for people who may be on the fence with purchasing the acquisition network service and program, kind of just share your experience with them, like in a nutshell. Like you paid for a program, there was people available. We didn't run off and steal your money, like you are in a business. Like just kind of, if you don't mind sharing that and just like give a quick overview of your background, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. My background is I'm an engineer at heart. I like to tell people I'm an engineer, chemical engineer by trade. Learned business and operations. So I'm an operations guy, and I really got into this for what I say is financial freedom. And it's the biggest financial decision of my life I've ever made. I mean, I purchased a house, I have a mortgage, I've taken a loan out on a car. This is kind of a bigger deal with a personal guarantee. And really, what I was looking for was someone to help look over my shoulder and give me advice on whether this deal made sense, whether this deal could be successful, whether I was getting scammed on a deal myself. And that's really what I was looking for.
Yeah, and thank you, man. If you don't mind me sharing, like, what was the details of the deal? Like, so it was like a commercial cleaning franchise reseller. Like, what made you pick that? What was like the criteria of it? I think you were working with Andre, was it?
Yeah, Andre and Jim, yes. And so I picked a commercial cleaning janitorial franchise. So basically, do cleaning for businesses. So it's B2B. I had a couple of those I was looking at too. My criteria was mainly I didn't want my first deal to be 100% dependent on the Google machines. So although I know that's a part of the business model, like the B2C, I was a little bit scared of being 100% committed to. That was kind of one of my criteria. The second one is I wanted it to be, people call it recession resistant or AI proof, right? Uh, Cleaning toilets may eventually go to technology, but the ROI is not going to be there for a while. So this business is going to be needed in up times and down times because everyone needs their toilets cleaned. That's kind of my second one. And then the third one is the cash flow size. For my working with the team and my analysis, like I wanted to be about $500,000 in SDE. I'm a little bit lower than that, but I learned kind of in my market that a little bit lower. So yeah, about $500,000 SDE was kind of my goal too.
500,000. And what did it end up being like down payment, and what's the STE?
Yeah, so the deal was 1.5. I SBA loaned this, and I got about 20% seller finance, and about 10% down payment. Nice. So my note's only about 1.3, and yeah, put 10% down. So and the cash flow is right below. It's like 475. 475 is the number. So I'm just below my goal, but it's close enough that with some growth I can be there.
475. That's pretty good, man. If you don't mind me asking, like, so what were you making before that?
Yeah, so I was just under 200,000. So I was working in tech, and I was just under 200,000 in salary before this. So it's a good jump, a nice jump, and again, like for not something as techy, right? And getting your hands dirty and cleaning. Yeah.
So are you still keeping the job, or what's the plan?
No, actually, the job's done. So I'm fully jumping into this. You didn't ask me this, but one of the things I love about Acquisition Network and that I think stood out as a service was you're willing to go in and be a partner, right? And operate the companies with the entrepreneurs themselves, there weren't a lot of other companies willing to do that. And so I always wanted to get my hands dirty and go in. And I think, that's how I'm going to drive the most value. And I'm actually going to take this from a $1.5 million company to maybe a $10 million company. Was me getting in, me driving, me building processes.
No, that's awesome. And then, if you don't mind sharing with everybody, what was your experience with buying businesses before meeting us? Like, have you tried previously? Did you invest into the other programs? What research did you do with like the other companies in the industry?
Yeah, I researched a lot of other companies. I had not tried anything before. I started this journey, man, uh, February, March of 2025. Um, and I researched a bunch of companies, and then I did a little bit of research on my own. So I bought a couple books, the HBR guide, and really it came down to your service stood out to the other ones because of the ability and the willingness to operate. Again, everyone was going to get me to the transaction door, like, and help me transact or give me training materials, but not willing to put their sweat and their own effort and their own time post sale. That's what made y'all stand out to me. And again, I put a lot of effort myself in. Like, it was not completely hands off, but I had coaches I could text or call and just like schedule, like, hey, here's this random thing for my seller this week, or hey, here's this deal I found and we're going to go through. The time and the coaching and the one-on-one support is what I really valued from you guys.
Thank you, Andrew. And I want to make that clear to people because like everyone wants the done for you, make me rich, put the money in solution. But the reason why Andrew was able to succeed is because obviously he bought the program, but actively did the work himself, actively took the steps, and now that you were able to learn from Andre and Jim, right, who has done deals. And so instead of buying a course, you've got like a dedicated one-on-one advisor to walk you through it. And so I also want to be clear, right? Like Andre, you are an operator, and so you decided not to opt in for the 20% equity management model, even though you referenced like that was the reason why you invested with us, just the fact that we even offered that. And so like in the long run, you could see like what you're dealing with your current business when you do deal 3, 5, 8. Now hey, there's somebody here I could trust that can come run it for me because there's gonna be a point when you do 3 of these, you're like, what, I don't have to, I'm making 1.5 million a year. Why am I here cleaning toilets or whatever I'm doing with it, right? So at that point, giving 20% isn't much of a thing, is it?
Exactly. That's exactly right. And the 20% to 20%, but also just the willingness to be there. So with your eyes on the deal, I have to deal with this later. I have to make sure that 20% works for me was also like, I think the big piece is that you don't make anybody decide until after the deal's done. Yeah. So like, so that was the part that I really liked.
Yeah, we really, I don't know, we obviously haven't spoken much, Andrew. I want to like to share like with the big part of our business model is we want to roll out a B2B consulting practice to where like we just go out and help businesses become more profitable. And so like our clients at any point in time, they can just hire us at whatever point during the acquisition. It may be like 2-3 years from now, you're like, what, I actually don't want to do this, right? And we already have the processes, we have the consulting system in places to help run the company. So yeah, I didn't know that you had a tech background, man. So like, what is your general like? How familiar are you with like the tech thesis that we're developing, and like, what's your consensus on biz buy sell, and like what the other marketplaces are doing in the market, and like how aware are you of like what it is that we're trying to build?
Yeah, I only know a little bit. I know a little bit from what teams told me. I know you're trying to have a one-stop shop for businesses. So I don't know a lot. I only know little pieces. So I can't claim to be an expert. But what I will say, the part of the question I think you're asking too is that like it's so needed in the small business game. Like there's, especially with brokers want a big deal. And so in this like medium-sized, smaller deal market, there's not a lot of hands-on support and not a lot of effort being put into these businesses. So like there's a really good sweet spot in that small business side of wasn't trucking a truck that grew bigger, was this owner operator that grew bigger, but doesn't have processes, doesn't have systems, doesn't have people. That like, there's definitely a room for consulting, or definitely room for some like transactions and sales on the acquisition side too.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, like that. The big thing of what we're looking to do is, and I know you're on your phone. I'll just give you a quick demo, right? So the goal is to take it from like this experience of, clients going and have to like go on biz buy sell and introduce themselves to a bunch of people, to instead like the platform brings it all together for the client, and then we could schedule meetings with the lender, the seller directly on the platform, right? And we could all just like communicate with one another through chats. We can assign tasks with one another, project planner, right? There'll be a job board where we could like source talent, university, right? This is what we're looking to build, right? A university tab, network directory of like all the lenders, so you can get your next deal done, right? And so like obviously biz buy sell isn't providing any of this, right? And so like that's where we are right now. I'm sharing this to you because like right now we're at like the pivotal fundraising stage, Andrew, and I'm just so like I appreciate you taking the time with us to show that we are not trying to run off of people's money, and not sure if you've seen that like this, like we record everything. We've always been extremely transparent as to like how the network's growing. We post like 3 meetings a day. We do bi-weekly meetings with our investors, and what we have just doesn't exist. Like people hear about it and they say it's too good to be true, and I'm like, well, I've got 4,300 meetings showing how we did this, and it's not done yet, right? We still need money for the app, and that's why like your review is super beneficial, because like here's like our use of funds. Like we're looking like we paid $50K to get the app started, but the total project's 125. So another 75K plus like there's just like some like automation tools that allows us to like generate significantly more revenue and take advantage of the fact that we've got like 20,000 people in our audience that clicked on the ads, but they can't afford the same program that you purchased. And so we're going